So obviously I got done reacting to chapter 892 of One Piece after 2 weeks of waiting. But obviously after going back and rereading the chapter or going over the chapter again, there's certain things that actually stand out to me more than so during the live reaction. The two major things that actually stand out, which I think are going to be foreshadowing. Now obviously I was kind of confused when the statement was made in the chapter. When we see Nami and Jinbei seeing Capone's ship, and I thought this was odd in the live reaction. Nami stated that, okay, I see somebody on the bow, but do you feel that a weird aura, like she's identifying something with observation hockey? But then if you notice, it's obviously love hearts. That's obviously coming from Sanji, and then Jinbei states it's not hockey. So I'm only going to assume it's a love gag, and if not, it's Oda alluding to some type of observation hockey for Nami, which I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, all signs are pointing towards it, but I just thought that was kind of odd. So the second thing I noticed is when Sanji rejoins the crew, and by the way, Pudding moved pretty quick. On the way, they have the wedding cake on board Capone's ship, while Sanji and Pudding, and I find this interesting, that obviously Pudding needs to keep Sanji away from Big Mom's sight, and she was real quick to get to the Sunny. They rejoined the crew, and the second thing that I noticed was kind of odd was when Sanji rejoins the crew and he says, oh, the ship pretty mentioned something. He asks about Carrot and then Pedro, and they said, oh, they're both sleeping inside, but if you notice their expressions, like kind of like, yeah, they're kind of inside, so, but we already know what happened to Pedro, so Sanji does not, and I find it kind of odd they're keeping it from him. So obviously Sanji doesn't feel guilty. So that's the second thing that sticks out to me after rereading the chapter. So but is this going to be also some type of foreshadowing that Pudding is with Sanji on the Sunny? Because the whole controversy about Pudding's age really got cleared up, and obviously after the previous chapter, where it was previously stated that Flambe, which is the 33rd daughter of the Charlotte family, that would mean Pudding is technically younger, but that was cleared up, and it was a mishap, obviously. Mistakes happen, so that was clarified, and it's established now Flambe is the 36th daughter, so obviously, technically speaking, that still means Pudding is 16 years old, but if you know the legal rights in Japan, that is the legal marriage age in Japan. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. That got cleared up, so I'm wondering if this is going to be some type of foreshadowing for Sanji later down the road, because Pudding, Three Eyes was still willing to help out Sanji with Arabians, and by the way, Arabian was really fast. And I believe Capone is heading to Liquor Town with a cake, so that gets Big Mom and, technically speaking, Perisbel and Barbaros away from the Straw Hats momentarily, because now they have the possession of the cake, and we know that's where Big Mom is heading towards. And on top of that, Pedro and obviously Barbaros are following Big Mom to make sure that's not poisoned. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I thought that's kind of clever to divert Big Mom's attention, and it gets Perisbel away from them. But the downside to that, you have Smoothie finally looking to do something, bringing a ship and possibly a fleet to like incoming to the Straw Hats. So there's going to be a conflict, and I'm banking on this. We're going to get the Vince Notes, no question about it, because it does seem like they're stalling for a conflict, especially now with what's going on in the Mirror World. By the way, the meeting place was at Cocoa Island, was it not, with Luffy? So, and there's only, technically speaking, there's only one mirror left. All the other mirrors are going to be smashed or thrown in the ocean, as it was stated by Oven. That's his big plan. Smash all most of the mirrors except for one, and I think that's going to be. It looks like it could be on Cocoa Island. So let me know what you guys think down below. Speaking of Smoothie, you actually get introduced to two of her sisters, I guess, or two of her sisters of the Charlotte family. We have Charlotte Citron, who is, I guess, the heavier version, and the Commander Cinnamon, which now that I think about it, they kind of remind me of the Boa sisters, alongside Boa Hancock. So I don't know if that's convenient or not, but I definitely want to see what these guys can do, especially Smoothie, since the only thing we've seen her up until this point is her grabbing hold of Reiju. Which another point that I need to bring up is, in this chapter, Sanji literally stated, if we go further, there is no way we can win this. Which begs the question is, you increase those odds by adding the Vince Smokes. I'm telling you right now, I think it's happening. It's obvious, but the way it's going to go down is they're going to lend a hand. I think Reiju's going to be the one to fight Smoothie. And if it is, that's Luffy's only escape route at this point on Whole Cake Island. Unless there's a mirror, like I previously stated, unless there's a mirror on the Vinxmo ship, possibly with Reiju, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. So on one of the snail ships. So let me know what you guys think down below about that. Speaking of Luffy, we go to Mirror World, and boy, Luffy's getting wrecked. He's getting thrown around like a rag doll, and it's even worse than what we saw in the previous chapter. His eyes swelled over now, and he's still trying to pinpoint Katakuri's attacks with observation hockey. And Katakuri literally states, just stay down. But his internal monologue in pretty much stating that Luffy's getting better with his observation hockey, much to the level of Katakuri now. So his future seeing observation hockey is advanced from what he tried to do it the first time. So it's not looking good for Luffy right now, with being nailed by the trident by Katakuri. He did try to use his future seeing observation hockey, but he could not dodge it. I'm still curious. He probably should have spent more on his armor hockey than anything else. I have not seen Luffy this bad post time skip. Not even against Doflamingo. So it's not looking good at all. I do not see Gear 4 happening. So unless Luffy can break through his limit and get a new power, or he outlasts Katakuri some way, shape, or form, because there was a panel in the chapter where you see Katakuri's actually starting to pant, breathe heavy a little bit, like he's running low on energy too, or low on hockey. So I don't know if Luffy's just going to outlast Katakuri, which is what happened with Rob Lucci, but we'll see. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. I definitely want to see more Charlotte Smoothie. It's definitely happening in the next chapter. I actually also foreshadowing that Sanji's actually going to get the hots for Smoothie, because he has not seen her yet, has he? Technically speaking, he may get the hops for her anyway. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. So that's some major progression. However, like I stated in the previous chapter, just because you can see the future doesn't mean you can react to it in time, and that's Luffy's biggest problem. Luffy's getting wrecked, and by the man, that final panel, I don't know what's going to happen to Luffy now. Obviously, he's not going to die, that's just common sense, but that was a direct attack from that spear that pisses Luffy, and if you notice, it takes part of his stomach, so I don't know how bad that is. I guess we're just going to have to find out and wait for the next chapter, but all in all, it's not looking good for Luffy right now. But there's any, which I got to kind of question, if Luffy isn't going to mount to something and find a way to defeat or survive Katakuri, then what was the purpose of bringing Luffy back in the Mirror World if that's not going to happen? So let me know what you guys think down below, and that's pretty much it for this chapter. That's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this review if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for One Piece. Catch you guys later.